The Ottoman Empire, once a mighty power, was weakening in the 19th century. Its grip on its provinces, including Egypt, was loosening. Egypt, a land of ancient history and the Nile's bounty, found itself under a new kind of pressure. European powers, hungry for wealth and influence, were circling. They saw Egypt's potential and its strategic location. Egypt's ruler, the Khedive, borrowed heavily from these European powers. This borrowing seemed like a solution at first, but it became a trap. The debt grew larger and larger, and Egypt became economically beholden to its creditors. The burden of these debts fell heavily on the shoulders of the Egyptian people, especially the fellahin, the peasant farmers, who were the backbone of the country. Taxes increased, and the fellahin were forced to grow cash crops like cotton, which benefited the Europeans but did little to feed their families. They toiled under a system that seemed rigged against them. The Egyptian army, too, felt the strain. It was poorly equipped and underpaid, a source of resentment among its ranks. It was from within this climate of discontent that Ahmed Urabi emerged. Born into a fellah family in 1841, Urabi understood the hardships of his people. He joined the army, rising through the ranks to become an officer. Intelligent and charismatic, he quickly gained the respect of his fellow soldiers. Urabi was not just a soldier, he was a man of ideas. He believed in justice and equality, appalled by the extravagance of the Khedive's court while his people starved. He was influenced by the growing wave of nationalism sweeping the world, the idea that Egyptians should control their own destiny. Urabi's message resonated with the downtrodden fellahin, the disgruntled soldiers, and even some intellectuals and religious leaders. He spoke of reforming the government, ending the crippling debt, and achieving true independence for Egypt. He became the voice of a people yearning for change, a symbol of hope in desperate times. In 1879, the discontent simmering beneath the surface boiled over. The spark came from a seemingly minor issue, the dismissal of Egyptian officers in favor of Turkish officers loyal to the Ottoman Sultan. This act was seen as a direct attack on Egyptian autonomy, and Urabi, now a colonel, became the focal point of the resistance. Egypt for the Egyptians became the rallying cry of the revolt. It was a simple message, yet potent. It united diverse segments of Egyptian society. Fellahin, demanding land reform, soldiers seeking better pay and conditions, and intellectuals yearning for a government that represented their aspirations. The revolt was not simply about material grievances. It was about dignity, about the right of Egyptians to govern themselves. It was a rejection of foreign control and a declaration of national pride. In a short span, Urabi had ignited a firestorm, transforming from a disgruntled officer to the leader of a popular revolution. Section 4. Alexandria in flames foreign intervention. The Urabi Revolt sent shockwaves through the European capitals. Britain and France, with their vast financial interests in Egypt, were particularly alarmed. They feared the revolt could jeopardize their investments and, more importantly, threaten the crucial waterway of the Suez Canal, a vital link between East and West. The European powers responded with force. In 1882, the British bombarded Alexandria, Egypt's main port city, reducing parts of it to rubble. The bombardment was a brutal display of military might intended to cow the Egyptians into submission. It was a stark reminder of the disparity in power between the West and the rest of the world. Despite the ferocity of the attack, Urabi and his followers refused to surrender. They fought back with courage and determination, engaging the British in a series of battles. However, the superior firepower and organization of the British Army proved too much. Urabi's forces, outmatched and outgunned, were defeated at the Battle of Tel el-Kebir in September 1882. Section 5. The revolt crushed, but not its spirit. The defeat at Tel el-Kebir marked the end of the Urabi Revolt. Urabi himself was captured, tried for treason and exiled to Ceylon, now Sri Lanka. The British, having crushed the rebellion, occupied Egypt, turning it into a de facto colony. The dreams of a free and independent Egypt, so close at hand, were dashed. The Urabi Revolt, though ultimately unsuccessful, was a watershed moment in Egyptian history. For the first time, Egyptians from all walks of life had united under the banner of nationalism to challenge both foreign domination and their own corrupt rulers. The revolt demonstrated the strength of popular sentiment and the potent appeal of national self-determination. Though Urabi was in exile, his ideas continued to resonate. The memory of the revolt of Egyptians fighting for their freedom became a powerful symbol for future generations of nationalists. The slogan, "Egypt for the Egyptians," took on a life of its own, echoing through the decades that followed. Section 6. Urabi's legacy: seeds of nationalism. The Urabi Revolt may have been extinguished, but it planted the seeds for future struggles against British rule. Egyptian nationalism, ignited by Urabi's defiance, continued to simmer beneath the surface. It found expression in various forms, in the writings of intellectuals, the activism of students, and the formation of secret societies dedicated to independence. Urabi's legacy transcended the borders of Egypt. His struggle for freedom inspired other colonized people across the Arab world and beyond. He became a symbol of resistance against imperialism, his name whispered with admiration and respect from the cafes of Cairo to the villages of India. Though history often remembers the victors, the Urabi Revolt serves as a reminder that even in defeat there can be victory. The courage and convictions of Ahmed Urabi and his followers may not have achieved immediate independence, but they left an indelible mark on the course of Egyptian history, paving the way for the nationalist movement that would eventually achieve its goal of a free Egypt. If you enjoyed this journey through history, don't forget to like and subscribe to History Untold for more fascinating content.